is News 3 Now at 6.
Thank you for joining us. Madison School District officials and police are investigating a threat targeted at West High School.
A district spokesperson says the threat was shared on social media yesterday. Here it is. It mentions seeking revenge on May 17th. And if school is canceled or security is added, the post says the person will act on an unannounced date. Now, a spokesperson says the district takes threatening language like this very seriously, and they're working with police to determine who posted it. They've notified parents about the incident.
Developing tonight, officials say a suspect is in custody in connection to a homicide investigation in Iowa County. This happened in the village of Avoca, which is about 20 miles northwest of Dodgeville. The Wisconsin Department of Justice is leading the investigation. Authorities have not identified the female victim or given details about the circumstances surrounding her death. According to the DOJ, a man contacted police around 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon to report this death. That caller was the person arrested. Officials say the man and woman knew each other. Law enforcement do not believe there is an ongoing threat, though, to the public.
Today marks 10 years since Timothy Pitson went missing from Aurora, Illinois. The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children has created a new age progression image showing what he might look like today at 16 years old. Timothy, just 6 when he disappeared back in 2011 after his mother, Amy, unexpectedly picked him up from school. The next day, Timothy's father reported his wife and son missing. On May 14th, Amy Pitson was found dead at a motel in Rockford, and there was no sign of Timothy. Investigators say Amy died by suicide and left a note indicating Timothy would be well taken care of.
It'll be another cold night with frost chances. Let's check your certified most accurate forecast with Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti.
Keep your fingers crossed. This may be the last one of the season. I'm hoping that because after tonight, I don't see temperatures that cold for a while. And as we get further into the season, it's less likely that we'd see any frost. But you can see how the skies are already starting to clear out. We've had partly to mostly sunny skies today. The Queen Bee radio sky cam from Platteville showing plenty of sunshine. Last night, temperatures were in the upper 20s to the lower 30s. Madison dropped to 30 degrees. We were actually just 1 degree above the record low of 29 set back in 1990. But temperatures were as cold as 19 up in Black River Falls. But they got up to 61 this afternoon, while Madison topped out at 57, Janesville 59. Temperatures right now are in the middle 50s, and by tomorrow morning, they'll be down into the middle 30s. So frost advisory in effect for all of southern Wisconsin again, even up to Lake Michigan. Here in Madison, again, about 34 for the overnight low temperature with clear skies. Highs tomorrow in the middle 60s with partly sunny skies, and it looks like we'll be in the upper 60s for the end of the week. Next chance of rain probably holding off till later in the weekend. I'll have more details and weather in a few minutes.
The CDC needs to give the green light for children ages 12 to 15 to officially become eligible for the Pfizer vaccine. That could happen as early as tomorrow after an advisory committee meeting. Fitchburg Family Pharmacy has been scheduling 12 to 15-year-olds since last week, assuming the approvals would come before this Thursday. They have more than 1,500 kids already signed up for 4 different remote clinics in Verona, Middleton, and Fitchburg. UW Health and SSM Health are awaiting for the approvals before allowing parents to schedule. Both are confident that they have enough Pfizer supply to handle this group.
This won't be the access issue people might have experienced for themselves personally with the adult population. Doesn't mean it's going to be instantaneous, but we feel good about where that's going to be at. People are going to have access, be able to get their kids scheduled in a really timely fashion.
For UW, you'll be able to schedule online as soon as those approvals are in at uwhealth.org/vaccine. SSM anticipates starting to vaccinate this age group on Monday. Walk-ins will be accepted at many of their clinics. If the CDC and Wisconsin DHS give approval in time, News 3 Now and SSM Health will offer the Pfizer vaccine to anyone 12 and older during our pop-up COVID-19 vaccine clinic. This is happening this Thursday, May 13th at Lunny Park, and also at the News 3 Now studios here on Raymond Road. We are hoping to make getting the shot easy for anyone who is having trouble navigating the registration system or anyone who still has questions about the vaccine. You can find those details on channel3000.com/vaccine-day.
And doctors say getting school-age students vaccinated is important to reach herd immunity, and schools themselves may also play an important role. Christina Lurie checked in with several local districts which are planning to do that as soon as this week.
Local districts are anticipating a busy summer, not in the classroom, but at the clinic.
Having it at school shows that we feel it's safe.
Lodi District Administrator Vince Brunig understands the importance of bringing shots to students. That's why he's already planning a second vaccine clinic less than a week after the first.
This is just another step in helping us get back to hopefully a more normal school year.
Vaccinated students no longer have to quarantine when exposed to someone with COVID.
That impacts you in school, it impacts you in your co-curricular.
And holding clinics at schools is even more convenient.
We're able to get them in and out and back to class so parents don't have to find time during their day.
2 months after partnering with SSM Health to vaccinate all teachers, Wanakee is getting ready to hold its first district-wide clinic this week, just for students.
We want our students to be here as much as possible, especially with as much school as that they've been out. So when we can have them here, we want them here. For
News 3 Now, I'm Christina Laurie.
You can find more information on when and where local schools, including Lodi and Wanakee, are hosting vaccine clinics on our website, channel3000.com.
Across Wisconsin, health officials confirmed 517 new COVID cases today. That is slightly higher than the 7-day rolling average of 503. After 2 consecutive days of no new deaths, 13 more people have died. Almost 38% of Wisconsinites are now fully vaccinated. Nearly 45% have received at least 1 dose. Good news for Dane County. 50% of all residents have completed the vaccination series. 61% of people have gotten at least 1 shot.
At the Capitol today, Republicans who control the state assembly have postponed voting on overriding vetoes by Governor Evers of bills that would prevent health officials from mandating the COVID vaccine and prohibiting the closing of churches during the pandemic. Now, the governor vetoed both bills last month, saying they limit his ability to respond to the pandemic. Assembly Speaker Robin Vos didn't say why the vote was postponed, but said it could take place at a later date. Wisconsin will receive $700 million less than initially expected in federal coronavirus relief money, and it'll arrive now in 2 payments a year apart. The state was informed yesterday of that split in payments and that it will receive $2.5 billion in total. This may affect the budget. Republicans say they're willing to work with the governor to figure it all out.
We still feel that we would like the governor to meet with us and talk about how the federal money is going to be spent, so we can include it in our discussions on the budget. We have requested to meet with him, and so far he's been unwilling to do that.
The governor and Senator Tammy Baldwin on Tuesday asked the U.S. Secretary of Treasury, Janet Yellen, to reconsider dividing those payments into 2. They say that'll hurt the state's ability to quickly help those hurt most by the pandemic.
A seemingly firm deadline to clear out Rindell Park has come and gone. Tonight there is confusion over if homeless people really do need to leave.
Some remain and don't plan to go anywhere until they hear something more concrete. Jamie Perez went back to Rindell today, and she has more. Jamie?
All right, well, there's still about a dozen or so people staying here at Rindell Park, and the city told me that they're not going to force anybody out at this point, but they are asking them to consider other options. Signs telling people to clear out of Rindell Park in Madison tell one story. The people living here are telling another.
They're trying to figure out when it's, actually appropriate to come and clean up. And we're totally willing to work with that. But it's just, there's, I think, more than one communication breakdown. James DeGray and other homeless people say there's confusion as to where they can legally stay. He said the city has come by to clean up any abandoned campsites since its order to clear out the park by Sunday. But for the most part, crews have left those still here alone. I'll walk along with them, check out each tent, show them, yep, no, people are here, this guy's over there, this guy's over here, this lady's here. And then they came to the conclusion of there's nothing that they can be removing today. In a statement, the city's community development director, Jim O'Keefe, said Rindell Park is no longer an authorized temporary permissible encampment site. The Starkweather Creek site remains available for people wishing to camp outdoors, but encouraged people to find other options. Community advocates have come to Rindell to strongly oppose the new Starkweather location.
These people are from our communities, and they've been moved around, 3 or 4 times throughout the year, and that only causes trauma. They say the new location is away from resources and not a viable place for any person to sleep. This is an issue we can and should solve as a community. The city will reopen discussion of whether or not to keep temporary encampments like the one at Rindell Park open to the public at its May 18th meeting. Until then, James and his friends say they're here to stay. No way to actually make plans yet, because on the 18th is the City Common Council referendum meeting that actually decides whether Rindell stays open or closed.
That new park location is about a 10-minute drive from this location here at Rindell Park. The city is asking all the folks who are currently staying here to please relocate there if they choose to continue staying outdoors. But as I mentioned, many of them say they're going to wait for the final decision at the May 18th council meeting before they decide where they can go.
Jamie Perez live at Rindell Park tonight. Jamie, thank you.
Coming up next at 6, a shout out for National Nurses Week, recognizing the home care nurses who provide comfort and support and help people stay out of the hospital. Stay with us.
Suffer from ED? Did you know there could be a way to relieve ED without harmful medications, needles, or surgery? Peak Performance for Men is here to help. Click or call now to treat your ED. And remember, our results make the difference.
Millions of customers are leaving their providers and switching to Spectrum. And if you have satellite, it's not hard to see why. Because unlike satellite, Spectrum gives you all the services you need, like internet and TV from one provider.
They do?
Yeah, they do. And Spectrum has the fastest download speeds with the most reliable performance. Get Spectrum Internet with speeds at 200 megabits for $44.99 a month. Call 833-909-4499. Spectrum wins on TV, too. Unlike satellite, Spectrum doesn't have an ugly dish to install. And you get exclusive premium original content with Spectrum Originals.
Wow, really?
Really. Plus, Spectrum has more free HD and free on demand. Get Spectrum TV from $44.99 a month. Call 833-909-4499. And unlike satellite providers, Spectrum doesn't have contracts or early termination fees. We'll even buy out your current contract up to $500. Switch to America's fastest growing internet, TV, and voice provider. Get Spectrum Internet and TV from $44.99 a month each. Ask about our easy self-install options. Call 833-909-4499.
There's no telling what the next Wisconsin Lottery scratch game will bring. It's Hot Sevens, a sizzling new family of games with prices of $1, $2, $5, and $10. The bigger the ticket, the bigger the top prize, all the way up to $100,000. Instant scratch games from the Wisconsin Lottery. Odds are you'll like them.
They say you should wait 30 minutes to swim after you eat. Nobody said anything about slurping Arby's $1 floats. Seems like a great opportunity to slurp and splash. Arby's, we have the meat.
As part of National Nurses Week, Bright Star Care of Madison is recognizing a woman who has gone above and beyond for clients amid this pandemic.
For being new employees for us.
And Lori T. Brink, Director of Nursing, has clinical oversight for 6 Bright Star Care offices, a medical care staffing division, and 2 Bright Star senior living locations. She also helped families through physically distanced goodbyes, providing them comfort and support afterward, and led PPE efforts. Lori says oftentimes people think of nurses in hospitals and clinics during the pandemic, but don't think about those providing at-home care.
There's a whole team of nurses and caregivers that are out there every day in your communities that are going into patients' house and keeping them safe at home and monitoring their symptoms. And often during the pandemic, the caregiver was the only person that they'd see in months because everybody was sheltering in place for so long.
She says the fact that they were able to provide that kind of companionship and monitoring people to keep them out of hospitals makes it an honor to be a nurse.
A local artist is honoring nurses for their hard work and selflessness throughout the pandemic. Curtis Crane calls it his hero wall. You'll find the work of art in the hallway at UW Hospital. His vision was to create a group of images showing that together we are always more powerful than alone. Crane says nurses continue to inspire him more and more every day.
It was emotional to be asked, spiritual to paint, and I don't know, gratifying to have somebody say how much they liked it. It's like a win-win all the way around. But again, not so much about me. It's all about them. And it's just a lovely thing. There I go, a lovely thing to do.
He wanted to focus big on detail and color with an intention to portray energy and spirit rather than a realistic rendering. Crane says he'll continue to paint and add more images as space permits.
Still ahead at 6, we will share some good news for Brewers and Bucks fans after the Milwaukee Health Department give the teams approval to increase capacity. And another cold night where we're expecting frost, but by next week we could see highs in the 70s. Gary will have the details in your full forecast.
Tonight on CBS, it's a night of suspense, beginning with NCIS, followed by FBI and FBI Most Wanted. Then get a complete wrap-up of the day's news on News 3 Now at 10.
You've been counting the days, weeks, months, just waiting for the Memorial Day Super Sale at Denver Mattress. Right now, the more you buy, the more you save. Save $100 on every $1,000 you spend. Check out the Summit Firm for only $199.99. Or save up to $500 on select Tempur-Pedic adjustable mattress sets and get a free $300 gift. Plus 7 years no interest and free shipping. The Memorial Day Super Sale on now at Denver Mattress.
You've heard that an apple a day keeps the doctor away, but you still need to see your dentist because getting good dental care is important to your overall health. You know dental bills can take a big bite out of your budget, especially if you're retired or on Medicare. Even a simple cleaning can cost $200. And other procedures like crowns and root canals can cost hundreds, even thousands more. But affordable dental insurance from Physicians Mutual Insurance Company can help. Give us a call or go online for this free information kit with all the details. This isn't just a discount plan or for checkups only. This is real dental insurance that can help pay for over 350 covered procedures, like cleanings, fillings, crowns, even dentures. There are no deductibles, no annual maximum, and you can see any dentist you like. So don't wait. Call or go to sendinfokit.com to get your free information kit. Call now.
Is your credit score getting in the way of things you want to do? Personal loans through NetCredit help you borrow up to $10,000. So check your eligibility on netcredit.com today without affecting your credit score. You may even be able to build your credit history as you repay. NetCredit, a more personal loan.
The ability to listen and understand you, to heal you, to provide the kind words that comfort you. Every day, our doctors and nurses, our cooks, housekeepers, therapists, and every member of your healthcare team give the most of themselves to care for you, to care for our community. These are your champions of health.
Wednesday on News 3 Now this morning, the River Food Pantry is celebrating 15 years of helping people in the 608.
And we could see some more May-like weather soon. We'll see you starting at 4:30 on News 3 Now this morning.
You are watching News 3 Now at 6.
Welcome back. The Brewers are expanding capacity at American Family Field up to 50% now. The Crew started the season with capacity capped at 25%, but now about 20 to 22,000 fans will be allowed in after getting approval from the City of Milwaukee Health Department today. The change goes into effect starting with this coming Saturday's game against the Atlanta Braves.
You know, as we have more fans, the more engagement, our players are energized, it brings energy and excitement. And again, another step towards what we ultimately have as our goal, which is 100% capacity.
Fans with partial and season ticket packages will get an email about their seating options later this week. The sausage race will also return inside the stadium on Saturday. And I want to mention the Bucks also announced they'll be allowing 50% capacity for the team's upcoming playoff games. That'll start about May 22nd. That means about 9,000 fans will be allowed inside Fiserv Forum. Before, the Bucks were only approved for 18% capacity.
Another cold night before we get closer to normal spring temperatures. Here's Gary with your forecast.
Hopefully it's the last one. You never can say never, at least this early in the season, but still, low temperatures tonight, middle 30s means the possibility for widespread frost across much of southern Wisconsin, but a hard freeze is not likely. And then the next couple of nights, we'll see those temperatures out of the frost range. But a frost advisory is in effect for all of southern Wisconsin for tonight. Freeze warnings are in effect just to our north across central and northeastern Wisconsin. Also on the other side of Lake Michigan, much of western lower Michigan under a freeze warning. Frost advisories elsewhere through much of the Midwest and into part of the East Coast. Three things you need to know in our forecast. Dry weather will continue through Saturday, and I've said this before, we could use some more rain. We're going to see high wildfire danger, especially over the next couple of days if we don't get any more rain. And it looks like the chances for showers and thunderstorms now are pretty much confined to the Sunday-Monday time period, with maybe another chance later on next week. But the rain chances have dropped significantly, at least according to the longer range computer models. At least temperatures will be milder. We'll be back into the 70s beginning about Tuesday of next week. And here's what I mean about the precipitation forecast. This is from Future Track, and this is through early Saturday morning, showing maybe 1/10 of an inch of rain from some sprinkles over parts of far western Wisconsin for Friday night. But even taking into account the rain that will fall Sunday and Monday, most of the heavier rain will stay to our south, and you can see still less than 1/10 of an inch of rain expected over much of southern Wisconsin, even with those shower and thunderstorm chances for early next week. Low temperatures this morning, because of the dry air, were in the 20s and 30s. A lot of places saw sub-freezing and temperatures that were cold enough to cause a hard freeze. But there were even pockets of 30s as far south as areas south of St. Louis and even into parts of eastern Kentucky and West Virginia. Current temperatures are in the 50s and 60s, 50s over Wisconsin, much of the rest of the Midwest in the 60s. These readings should be about 10 degrees higher than they are now. But as we look at Weather Track, you can see to our south another shower and thunderstorm complex moving through parts of Texas, Oklahoma, and into Arkansas and Louisiana, with the potential for some severe weather as well as flooding rain. We could use some of that rain, but with the jet stream to our south, that's keeping the main storm track away from us. It's also allowing the cooler air to continue to filter in from the north. High pressure located right over Minnesota. That's where the center of that cold air mass is. And as we check out temperatures, they're in the 50s. It's actually a little warmer to the west of us right now, because temperatures are starting, or because winds are starting to shift around to the south. And on Future Track, you can see how that bubble of high pressure just kind of sits right across Wisconsin for the next couple of days with generally light winds. We see a few cumulus clouds pop up in the afternoon, but at night it'll be clear. Tomorrow night, not as cold, with low temperatures in the upper 30s to around 40. But notice as we head into Thursday, those winds more out of the south and southwest, that will start to get temperatures up at least into the upper 60s or closer to normal for this time of year. Frost advisory in effect for all of southern Wisconsin from shortly after midnight through early tomorrow morning. Look for a low tonight of about 34 in Madison, with skies becoming mostly clear, so widespread frost likely. For tomorrow, though, high temperature at 64 with partly sunny skies, a little milder than today, and then 39 for tomorrow night, but back up to 68 Thursday and Friday. Notice those temperatures, upper 60s through the weekend, those shower and thunderstorm chances Sunday and Monday, and then temperatures in the 70s for next week.
And coming up in sports, this Saturday is over 600 days in the making for Forward Madison, while the Mingo's home opener is more than just another soccer game. That's next on News 3 Now.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
General Heating and Air Conditioning. Our large fleet of service vehicles are nearby, and our mobile fabrication shops allow us to save you time and money. When your home comfort system needs servicing or replacing, turn to the experts at Carrier and General Heating and Air Conditioning.
Keep your living spaces comfortable with the Denali Air Mini Split System from Menards. These units are an energy-efficient, affordable option to zone cool and heat any room in your home. It's easy to install and effectively removes humidity. It also includes a remote so you can easily control the temperature. And it's a great time to buy with 11% off all Denali Air Mini Split Systems right now at Menards.
How to change the way you pizza. Step 1, grab a delicious Papa Murphy's pizza. Step 2, bake. Step 3, chow down on the deliciousness. Right now, get a large Taco Grande pizza. Papa Murphy's.
Power Centers of Madison. Visit powercentersofmadison.com.
Attic Angel Community has earned a reputation as the one and only. But what's so memorable to the people who live here?
It's good local heart.
Interesting friends.
The view from my window.
Continuing education.
The food.
The amazing art studio.
Happy hour.
There are many reasons to love Attic Angel Community, but there's just one Attic Angel.
General Heating and Air Conditioning. Our large fleet of service vehicles are nearby, and our mobile fabrication shops allow us to save you time and money. When your home comfort system needs servicing or replacing, turn to the experts at Carrier and General Heating and Air Conditioning.
Real estate is booming in Madison, and it's all about the seller.
This is a classic imbalance of supply and demand.
So how can buyers get an upper hand? Mark Kane gets inside tips from local experts to help buyers on the hunt. Wednesday at 10.
Saturday's a pretty big day for Forward Madison. Not only is it the club's home opener, but it will be the first time in 601 days that the Mingos will be playing on their actual home field for East Stevens. Remember, last year they played all their home games at Hart Park in Wauwatosa. Well, this year they're back in Madison, and the Mingos couldn't be more excited for what should be a pretty emotional night with their fans.
Football is meant to be played to a crowd. The club's name is Forward Madison. Emphasis on Madison. This is where we belong. This is why we're here. We're here for this community. We're all ready. We're definitely ready for it.
Around the locker room, there's been a handful of guys here who's been here since day one, and they let us all know how electric it gets here in the stadium, and everyone here is super excited.
Playing in the AmFam Championship is a bigger deal to Jerry Kelly, Steve Stricker, now Andy North, because the tournament is held in their home state. And the last time it was played, Kelly won it all in his own backyard. Now, to his name, the Madison native has 7 wins on the Champions Tour and 3 on the PGA Tour. But that AmFam Championship win might have been his favorite one of his professional golf career.
It was one of the highlights of my career, if not the highlight of my career. You guys have asked so many times, when is somebody from Wisconsin going to win in Wisconsin? I was always like, it's just not that easy. The timing really has to line up. And having my mom right there and my wife and the whole family, it was just a really fun experience.
Brewers opening up a 3-game series with the Cardinals tonight, and they expect to get their ace Corbin Burns back from the injury list as early as Thursday. In 5 games this season, the Milwaukee right-hander has an ERA of 1.53 and 49 strikeouts. And after 13 years in the majors, Jordan Zimmerman is calling it a career. The Wisconsin native was a 2-time All-Star and threw the first no-hitter in Washington Nationals history. Besides pitching for the Nats, he also played for the Tigers and the Brewers. Zimmerman won 95 games on the mound, posting a 4.7 ERA. Gary, did you know he went to college at UW-Stevens Point?
I did, so he's used to the cold weather. Well, right now, skies are starting to clear out, and those temperatures will drop off pretty rapidly tonight. Right now, we're in the mid-50s to around 60, but look for temperatures in the middle 30s by morning. Frost advisory in effect for most of southern Wisconsin.
But we're going to warm up soon, folks. Just be patient. Thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 6.
Enjoy your evening, and we'll see you back here at 10.